You know the routine. Before you even step foot in the gym or open a textbook, you prep. You grab an energy drink. You put on your noise-canceling headphones, crank up a high BPM playlist, cue up a podcast, and scroll through a few videos just to get pumped. The logic makes sense. Working out or studying takes effort, so adding things you love to the mix should make the whole experience easier to get through and keep you motivated. But eventually, a strange friction sets in. You start dreading the workout. You feel drained, lethargic, and soon you cannot even fathom starting the task unless you have that exact massive stack of stimulants to push you out the door. By constantly piling on pleasures to optimize an experience, you aren't hacking your productivity. You are actively bankrupting the biological system that creates your drive. We tend to talk about this system in terms of dopamine hits, treating the molecule like a quick splash of joy you get from eating a piece of chocolate or getting a like on a photo. But biologically, dopamine is the currency of seeking. It is the neurochemical driver that makes you look outside yourself, crave a goal, and endure the effort required to go get it. Your brain does not have an endlessly flowing supply of this molecule. It has to physically synthesize it and store it in tiny packets before it can be deployed. Treating this highly regulated system like a limitless fountain of immediate reward works against the very way our neurochemistry evolved, guaranteeing an eventual collapse in energy. The mechanics of this collapse happen right here, in the mesocortico-limbic pathway. This chart shows how that network operates over time. It maintains a constant low-level buzz of dopamine circulating in the background. Neuroscientists call this tonic release, and this flat baseline dictates your general, everyday mood and readiness. When you encounter something highly rewarding or exciting, you experience phasic release. The chart registers a sudden, massive spike straight up from that baseline. To achieve that height, your neurons are literally vomiting out tiny bubbles of dopamine, called vesicles, into the brain. But these bubbles make up a finite, readily releasable pool. Every time you experience a massive surge in excitement, it is neurologically expensive. You are directly draining your immediate physical reserves of motivation. Because those physical reserves are now drained, the dopamine level does not gently return to its starting point. It plunges below where you started, creating a biological deficit. This operates on a strict proportional rule. If you trigger an enormous spike, you will suffer a deep, prolonged trough afterward. A smaller peak yields a much shallower, more manageable drop. This brings us back to that pre-workout routine. By layering the energy drink, the loud music, and the social media scrolling all at once, you force an unnaturally massive peak for a single everyday activity. If you chronically force these massive peaks day after day, the graph zooms out to reveal a grim picture. Your overarching baseline trends steadily downward. You find yourself in a state of constant depletion, needing more and more stimulation just to reach a normal feeling of engagement. When you suddenly lose passion for a hobby or can't muster the energy to study, it has nothing to do with a lack of willpower. Your neurological bank account is simply too overdrawn to fund your drive. To protect that baseline without giving up the activities you enjoy, you have to adopt what behavioral scientists call an intermittent reward schedule. Casinos keep players engaged for hours using unpredictability. A pull of the slot machine might yield a large reward, a small one, or nothing. That randomized delivery sustains intense motivation without triggering an immediate, severe baseline crash. You can apply this exact mechanism to your own routines. If you always blast your favorite playlist and pound a pre-workout drink before hitting the gym, start flipping a coin. Randomly choose to do the workout in total silence, with no stimulants a few times a week. By refusing to guarantee an artificially high peak every single time you tackle a task, you preserve your readily releasable pool of dopamine, ensuring you actually want to keep showing up. There is an even deeper way to optimize this system, and it starts by abandoning your focus on the finish line. When you obsess over the grade, the post-workout cheat meal, or crossing the tape, you alter how your brain perceives time. Because the payoff arrives entirely at the end, you dissociate the feeling of pleasure from the actual work. The effort itself is left devoid of chemical reward, making the process feel incredibly painful. You can counter this by engaging your prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking part of your brain. In the middle of a grueling task, you can subjectively tell yourself that the friction and pain you are experiencing is the reward. When you repeatedly frame effort as the prize, you leverage neuroplasticity. You physically rewire your neural circuitry to release healthy dopamine during the challenging activity, rather than delaying it for the end. True, enduring drive doesn't come from endlessly chasing artificial highs. It comes from stripping away the excess, protecting your biological reserves, and teaching your brain to find deep, lasting joy in the struggle itself.